This is a video about going to the Qatar Formula 1 Grand Prix, from buying the tickets to getting there to what you can expect of the track if you go. So first things first, I went to the Formula 1 tickets website, discovered everything was sold out or way out of my price range. Then I discovered the Lusail circuit website, which still had some tickets left. So Lusail circuit is 16 turns, and most of them are off limits to spectators. The entire back half, in fact, can only be seen on TV. The main general admission area is a big grass embankment at the end of turn 1 called Lusail Hill. There's also a small fan zone at the exit of turn 16. You've got grandstands down the main straight, of course, a grandstand at turn 2, another one at turn 3, and lastly one at turn 16. And I'll show you what these views were like later in the video. So a 3-day general admission ticket cost $164 US, which is not too bad in the scheme of Formula 1. It's actually one of the cheapest tickets you can get on the F1 calendar. For an extra $100 or so, you can get a grandstand seat at one of the turns, and for a 3-day main grandstand ticket, it was $550. I decided to pay a little extra for a turn 2 grandstand ticket. I discovered that the seating isn't allocated, and the T2 grandstand covers both the turn entry and the exit, so you kind of get two perspectives for the price of one. So with tickets booked, it was time to go to the state of Qatar. Immigration done, SIM card done.
It starts sweating in a second.
I arrived on a Thursday and just for the day rented a car to see a few things that weren't accessible with public transport, which we will be taking to the race, as you'll see later on. This is my assistant, Laura.
Not really anyone out and about, as you can see, and that's because it's 35 degrees and it's only 8:50 in the morning. Tell us about driving around Qatar.
It's fantastic. Best roads in the world. Isn't it?
How about driving?
Best drivers in the world.
Doha has plenty of world-class galleries and museums. I decided to check out the National Library for a relaxing read and an unscheduled jet lag recovery nap while I waited to check into my hotel. There's plenty of accommodation available in Doha, and you can actually get a pretty decent room for a pretty reasonable price.
We have a great view of giant eye thing. That man drying his clothes on the roof. I think they'll be done in about 10 minutes.
One of the most famous art installations in the country is a sculpture out in the desert by the late American artist Richard Serra. It's titled East West, West East. Well, you can probably work out why that is. You will need a car if you do plan to visit it. Friday mornings in Doha are reserved for prayer, which means the metro doesn't start running until 2 p.m. So just keep that in mind if you plan on taking public transport to the circuit on Friday. The Doha metro system is pretty modern, it runs frequently, and is actually one of the fastest driverless train systems in the world. The metro will drop you at Lusail station, and from there it's a shuttle bus to the track. There is parking at the track if you wanted to drive yourself, or you could take an official taxi. However, you can't take Uber. Ubers will be redirected back to the metro station, where passengers will have to join the queue for a shuttle bus. From leaving central Doha to the track entrance, it took me around 1 hour and 45 minutes, and I will warn you, there's a lot of walking at the very end. For the first practice session, it was extremely windy, and the wind combined with the sand it blew all over the track made for some very challenging driving conditions. The main general admission fan zone is down the end of the main straight around turn 1. It's known as Lusail Hill, and it's open to all ticket holders. It's also got some big screens, much bigger than the ones I've seen at other Grand Prix, and these make it really easy to keep track of what's happening in the race. Because as most people will tell you, it's actually pretty hard to follow an entire race as a live spectator. Overall, I think for the price this is actually not bad viewing. Also open to all ticket holders is the fan zone at the T16 exit just at the start of the main straight. It's an elevated platform offset quite some distance back from the track. So moving on to the T2 Grandstand. As I mentioned, it is split in half. The first half faces the turn entry and the second half faces the turn exit. And then in between you have a platform where a lot of people hang out and lean on the railing to try and get closer to the cars as they go around the turn. Or don't. I couldn't tell you what the view is like from T3, but it's right next to the T2 exit grandstand. I imagine it's pretty similar to this. As far as amenities go, around the track there's plenty of free water. In 2024 it's held later in the year, so hopefully won't be as hot. And as you might expect, a few F1 related games like sim racing, pit stop challenge and blast lane, which is sort of like a wind tunnel. My only complaint throughout this whole weekend was that the food queues were really long, and that seemed to be the case no matter where you were in the venue.
It's now 7 PM because I overslept my alarm by a lot.
So they do the commentary and there's a British guy speaking English, then it alternates to an Arab guy speaking English, and then the Arab guy switches to Arabic. Don't know what's going on there, who's doing that, but it's fun. Really humid here today because I'm really white.
You're really white, that's why you're sweating. I know.
Pretty nice sprint race, pretty eventful, a few safety cars. Now we will check out the concert, Alesso. Here we go, day 3, race day. Pretty much no queues for the buses. Hopefully you're gonna get there in time from the driver parade. It's definitely quiet, quieter than the last 2 days. Granted, it's 2.5 hours before the race start, but still it's fairly chill, fairly relaxed. We're gonna go try and see the drivers parade from T2.
Cultivating a profound love for speed among us. The untold tales of the future. We shall eagerly embrace them.
Absolute drama over Lewis Hamilton, Russell, Magnussen and Lawson all now coming in.
So there you have it, the Qatar Formula 1 Grand Prix. All in all, I thought it was a pretty well organised event. It's an easy place to get to from a lot of different parts of the world, or you could consider it as a stopover on your way to somewhere else. It wasn't too expensive as far as F1 goes. I think I spent around $800 for the entire weekend. That includes the track ticket and expenses. It does not include the flight, however. So I hope this video was helpful, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to respond. Thanks for watching.